Okie dokie, everybody. Welcome back to Too Stupid, a stupid podcast, if you will, of two friends. Me, Sarah, and my bestie for the resties, Dan.
It's me. I'm here. I'm also part of this podcast, actually.
You
Believe it
are.
or not.
You are.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot to get into today.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna go.
Dive. Head first. Do you know how to dive?
Yes.
Do you know how to dive?
I was a competitive swimmer for 2 years, so yes.
I forget about that. I never learned how to dive. I always wish I could.
Just gotta put your head first, body last.
Dude, I can't.
Head first,
that
body
goes
last.
Against every single human instinct I have. Yeah, go neck and head
Neck
first.
first.
Where your brain is.
Neck first, body last.
You know what's also weird is I never fully learned how to not plug my nose underwater.
Sure. That's fine.
Is that normal?
Yeah, plenty of people do that.
Oh. Okay,
right.
Anyways, moving on.
We're gonna talk about TikToks.
Okay, yeah. TikToks.
You know, our usual segment of discussing our favorites of the week.
Alright, you wanna introduce it at all or say anything about it?
Nope. It's good.
This is how the TikToks used to find. Oh, you want to talk about it? You want to say anything? You're like, no, just play it.
No, I have nothing to say.
Okay. Let's see this.
This winter, make sure your car has a battery that's built to last. Duralast. Get in the zone. On!
I feel like this is kind of millennial, Sarah. I'm not gonna lie. I feel it's the same. It reminds me of a Vine, like those free Shavakadu ones.
That's what the comment said, is that those very Vine energy.
Target.
Yeah.
You know. That one's a good one.
But it's the way he says it. It's funny.
Yeah. It definitely comes. Yeah, it's like did not expect it to sound like that. I knew it was coming, but was not expecting that man's voice to reach that pitch.
I just wanted to know how he was gonna say it.
Yeah. For my TikTok, I might have to bleep it out a little bit because there's a lot of choice language in it, but it's funny, I swear. This is my
Somebody get me a Sharpie that works! Find them, god damn it! Get it now! Right now! Where's my knife? Shut the fuck.
Sarah, I need to talk about this, okay?
You talk about it.
This is gonna spark a conversation. I'm usually a very festive person. I love the holidays. October, November, December are just I'm on top of the world, okay? Besides finals, I'm on top of the world.
Right.
And the one thing that I hate with a passion about Christmas is freaking gingerbread houses.
Yeah.
And it's taken me a while to, come to this conclusion, this realization. I have not built a gingerbread house in many years, and the last couple times I can remember it happening, I remember being just filled with utter rage.
Yeah.
Absolute rage. And I just usually end up giving up, essentially, and eating it, which I've been told not to eat the box ones.
You probably shouldn't. It's okay.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's through my system. It was a long time ago, but I probably did that so many times. Even when I kind of enjoyed building gingerbread houses as a kid, when my dad would do all of it, I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, can I eat this piece?" And he'd be like, "Sure," and then I'd do it, and then he would be surprised. He'd you actually did that. And then I would tell people, I'm like, "Yeah, don't you guys eat the gingerbread houses when you're done, or the extra pieces?" And they're like, "No." No, we don't. And I'm like, "Oh, what? Cool. Yeah. Oh, me neither." And
yeah.
But I don't want to do it. And my partner was offered the other day. He was like, "I want to build one." I'm like, "You do that."
You have fun.
We can't do the coupley cutesy Christmas thing. I will watch you, and that's about it. Probably eat a little bit of the frosting, and cheer you on from the sidelines, buddy.
Yeah. So every year in my family, I think one of us suggests doing a gingerbread house, and then we get them, and then we all get angry at each other and argue, and then we don't have fun.
Like, why did we do this? Why was this a choice that we made?
Yeah.
Because it never sticks. My partner told me that when he did it with his family, they would have to like put it outside in the freezing cold for like a half hour to like make it stay together. I don't get why it doesn't stay
The
together.
only time I've had it be successful is when I super glued it.
Oh my God. Like
I got rid of the frosting and I super glued it. Super glued.
You're like, I know how to do this better. Just wait. I have a great idea.
Yes.
Brings out the glue gun.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Listen, it worked. Okay.
I believe it.
Moving on from gingerbread houses and the trauma of them. We're going to talk about, 'tis the season. We've been in our Christmas festivities the last episode, and now this episode. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Nuh-uh. 'Tis the season to analyze your Spotify Wrapped.
In all seriousness, how dedicated are you? Like, how much do you look forward to Spotify Wrapped? Because I know some people who are like, yeah, and other people who are like, I'm over it. It's stupid. I hate it. Like, I've seen both online.
Yeah. I forget about it every single year until it happens. But then when it happens, I am sitting there trust me, I'm sitting there on Instagram, going through everybody's stories, looking at each individual one.
And judging them hard.
Yeah, even if I don't really like know them that well.
Yeah.
Or it's like somebody like I knew in high school. Like I'm still sitting there like scrolling.
Oh, really? Through. Oh, Taylor Swift. Oh, really? Justin Bieber.
Interesting choice.
Okay.
Yeah. Or applauding them and being like, wow.
Yeah.
Incredible choices.
Yeah. Yeah, no shame to people who listen to Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber. I also listen to them, but like number one artist, really? Drake, Kanye.
If you listen to Kanye,
that's getting an unfollow. Number one artist, like
I am probably unfollowing.
That's a good
you.
way. Honestly, that's a good way to like go through who you follow on Instagram or any social media platform to like look at their Wrapped and be like, I gotta clean this up a little bit. Unfollow.
True. It is a good way to evaluate the relationships in your life.
Yeah. I feel like I have to set a disclaimer. I do have Spotify, technically. I was peer pressured by my old coworkers at my old job to get it. But I don't use it like at all. I am an Apple Music girly all the way and have been for many years. I just feel like it shuffles better. I feel like it plays better music. I don't get any ads. Like, hate me all you want, but you're gonna sit there listening to what's the ad? Watch this ad to enjoy 30 minutes of ad-free listening. Like, I don't get that. That sucks. You like, oh boo hoo. I don't get that.
Do you want a break from the ads?
Yeah, that's what it is. You want a break from the ads? He kind of like has like a little like, you can't see my facial expressions, but he's like a little like
you want a break from the ads?
You want a break from the ads?
Spend $12.
Yeah.
But hey.
Yeah.
I get a deal because I am a student, so mine is $3. I do have premium.
Yeah.
So I don't have to listen to that.
I have a family plan.
Yeah, that's nice. Anyways, today we're gonna just quickly look over our Wrapped playlists, and then we're gonna discuss our music interests a little more, because as we described in the first episode, we're both kind of very musically inclined people. So
I had to write a paper for my class just today when I was doing homework about like my academic experience as a whole. And I was writing just about that. Like, I didn't do sports. I did dance for like 8 years, which counts as a sport, but I was never really like competitive with it. I was all music and it was all art. And I think it'll just be interesting to look at our music tastes because they're very opposite.
They are.
And I definitely see this going in a direction where, we'll talk about our categories and everything, but most of it is just going to be us saying, like, I like this song, you like this song, and viewers maybe or maybe not knowing the songs.
Yes. It'll be a good time. Why don't you
That's essentially what this video is.
Yeah. Why don't you go through your top 5 artists first?
Okay. Do you want me to start from like 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
Don't matter, B. Whichever you choose.
Okay. I'm gonna start at number 5. This is probably the one weird one that's like included on your list that really sticks out like a sore thumb. So okay, when I do homework, I listen to a lot of Nintendo music. I listen to like Animal Crossing music, or sometimes I'll just put on those like live stream lo-fi jazzy vibes. And when I get tired of that, when I'm really feeling like I need an upbeat sort of no lyric type of song to listen to, I listen to I listen to Toby Fox, which is the creator of my favorite video game in the world, Undertale, which is a little pixelated RPG game from like 2010 something. And it's just it's very like beep boop bop songs. So that is my number 5 is Toby Fox, who is a video game music artist.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee anytime that Danny FaceTimes me, when I pick up, it's probably gonna be like Nintendo or Animal Crossing music in the background.
I love it too much, man. And
yeah.
I think actually in a previous episode we were recording, I was like, can you hear my music in the background?
Yeah. I could, in fact.
I
think it was Nintendo
because I didn't want to get copyrighted. It probably was. Who's your number 5?
My number 5, which I am shocked, but also we have to put a disclaimer that Spotify Wrapped ends its like analysis of like what music you're listening to in like the middle of the year. So like
what?
Yeah, so like the second half or like the most current music that you're listening to, it doesn't register. Like it's not going to be included in your Wrapped until the next one.
I didn't know that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why?
So my 5th one is Boy Genius, which is messed up because they just put out a new album, and so I am listening to I'm listening to Christmas music right now, but when it's not Christmas, right, I am listening to Boy Genius.
Do you think they should have been your number 1?
No, but they should have been higher. And I'll explain that a little more later. But Boy Genius, I love Phoebe Bridgers a lot. It's just like my top 3 artists, literally.
Yeah.
And she's in that band, so I love them. They just come out with a new album, so
checks out. My number 4 artist is ABBA.
Yes.
I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, if they weren't, ABBA's I would be shocked, but I love ABBA and I love Mamma Mia and everything about them, so it makes sense.
I have to include a little joke. So we did film this episode previously, and then I deleted half of the audio, and so we've had to redo this episode. But literally before, I talked about how my dad didn't like ABBA, and then you were like, that's why he crashed your car.
I forgot that joke was in that.
It was so funny.
Yeah, it was funny. I made a joke that because your dad crashed your car a couple weeks ago. He's okay. Everything's fine.
Everybody's okay. We have a new car, Francis, now.
Yeah, if anything, it's great. And we were talking about how he doesn't like ABBA, and I said, well, I wonder why he crashed his car. Or crashed your car. Yeah. That's just karma, baby. I mean, I don't know what you want from me.
And I feel like it's still true. So.
Did you tell him that?
No, I'm going to. I'll make him sit down and watch this episode. Watch this.
Deal.
Okay. My number 4 artist is the Fleet Foxes. Good group of guys. Very nice voices. I I mean, not many of their songs. I wouldn't say that. Like, I'm an avid listener of theirs, but I have a few songs of theirs that I really, really love. And so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very, very folky. Is that a word?
Yes.
Folky? That's hard to
folkly?
say.
Folky.
Folkish.
Folky. Like yolk, but folk.
Yolky.
Folky.
Okay. My number 3 artist is Innerwave. They are a band that I actually found when I had a radio show at my school.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think it was freshman year.
Yeah.
I had it for a couple of months. It was really fun, honestly. It was fun that I did it for a little bit, but Innerwave was one of the bands that they had already downloaded on their computer, and I played their songs a lot because I liked them a lot.
Yeah. So my third one, it's kind of, I've already said it. It's Phoebe bridgers. I love her. Have for many years.
Mm-hmm.
So
my second one, which my second one I feel isn't super accurate, just because I have like 3 or 4 of these guys' songs, and they're in the playlist I listen to all the time. So, but it's Tame Impala. Not a bad thing, but no. I feel like it's been a minute since I've like with Toby Fox, ABBA, Innerwave, and my number 1 artist, which is a surprise, hasn't been said yet. I'll like will individually go to like their music pages and like strictly listen to them sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't do that with Tame Impala. That's the only like weird one that I'm like, well, maybe, but you know, I have like maybe 4, 5, 6 of their songs scattered throughout like several playlists. So I think that's kind of explains it, but I'm not mad.
Yeah. My second one is exactly the same thing. Like, it's Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh, yeah. No, because when we recorded this episode before, you said something like, what did you say? You were like,
I'm a shy fan or something like that.
Yeah, like, it's, like, I wouldn't expect to guess her for you.
No, and it's like, again, it's that same thing of like, I have like 5 or 6 songs for her that I really, and she's really talented, like no shade
oh my god
to her whatsoever.
Oh my god, did you see her performance on SNL?
Yes, incredible.
Oh my god, yeah,
she's very talented, so I'm not upset that she's on there. And like, I do have 5 or 6 songs that like are on a few of my playlists, but again, she's not one of those that I like actively seek out.
Yeah. All right, well, I feel like we can guess each other's number 1 here coming up, but both of which each of us are going to concerts later next year.
Yep.
My number 1 artist is Melanie Martinez. Love her to death. Have since 2015. It's been a long journey, long ride, and I finally get to see her in concert next year, and I can't talk about it for too long, otherwise I might start crying. So it's your turn, Sarah.
Yep, I feel the same way.
We're literally in the same exact boat here for both of our artists.
Like within same like couple of weeks that we got our tickets, so it was quite exciting.
That they announced their tours, and now we got tickets.
So my number 1 is Hozier. Going to see him in August.
Round of applause.
Yeah, lovely man. I am in love with him. And again, if I talk too much about it, I will explode. So
anyways, moving on right now. No reason, just
immediately.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about, well, we're going to continue this music theme by just talking about some of our favorites. Some of our favorite songs. So, let's talk about our top 5 currently.
Okay.
Now, are yours, right? Yours are ranked, right? You ranked yours.
Yeah, but
okay. Mine aren't ranked. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, just keep that in mind. That like mine are ranked, yours, or mine aren't ranked, yours are ranked. Doesn't matter.
Can we talk about the genres we listen to first?
Sure.
So
what do you
what genres do you listen to, Sarah?
I listen primarily, I hate saying it every single time.
What? Why?
Because everyone, you know what? I literally have a playlist in my Spotify that is called Phoebe Bridgers Isn't Indie. Because I hate when people tell me that I listen to indie music.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I totally get you. Yeah.
I think she's folk. I would much rather somebody tell me that I listen to folk music, and that's what I say that I listen to. I listen to more folk music than anything. But I guess you could classify it as more indie. I just feel like indie is like, oh, I'm so underground.
Yeah.
And I listen to Hozier. Like, that's not underground.
No, I feel the same way. The first one I have like written down is indie rock, indie pop, indie anything. Saying it feels, embarrassing, kind of.
Right. No, 100%. Makes me want to take my eyeballs out a little bit.
Listen to indie. Yeah, I feel like I definitely had the phase where I felt like it was cool that I listened to indie music in like high school. And now I'm here and I'm like, yeah, I just listen to indie rock mainly is what I usually say, because I feel like that at least makes me sound a little bit better than just indie.
It just makes my insides just cringe. I can't do it.
Makes my bones tingle a little bit.
Exactly. But it makes sense that my number one song is a Hozier song. Again, so indie, so underground. It's called To Someone from a Warmer Climate. It's off of his new album. It's just so all of his like albums are thematic. They have themes to them, and so this one was off of Dante's Inferno. So you see a lot of like Greek and Roman literature, a lot of ancient literature being represented. It is so impactful and
very artistic.
It just makes me want to punch people in the face with his words, you know?
People can't see it right now, but Sarah has her hands in fists and she was shaking them a little bit. She was feeling very she's doing
feel the wrath of Hozier. That's what I feel from these songs. So To Someone from a Warmer Climate is actually a slower song. But it's about heartbreak. So
you okay? You're feeling right?
Just wish everybody would listen to him.
So the funny thing about me and Sarah, how we stated earlier how we're very opposite. I usually don't let Sarah play music when we're in the car together or anytime, because a lot of, like she was saying, like folk, indie, I classify it as sad music only because the music I listen to is very opposite. I listen to a mixture of like indie, metal, Pitbull, and like Broadway and like R&B. And Sarah just listens to like
variety.
I'm Phoebe
jump
Bridgers
in front of a train.
Like
that is my music.
Understand as we go through these lists.
That's what you're gonna see.
That's what you should expect. So let's see. We're talking about our top 5. One of them I have on here is one of them that I'm going to include, my current favorite that I kind of forgot about and then came back to, is called Love Machine by Mari Dangerfield. I found her on TikTok, and she, I would say, is like a newer upcoming artist. I believe she has like one album or one EP out. I'm not entirely sure. But a lot of her music is, I'm pretty sure she has an album solely dedicated to climate change awareness and stuff like that. But Love Machine was one of her earlier songs, and it's just, she has such a unique voice. Definitely go check her out, please. And through this episode, if you listen to any of these songs or artists, and I guess honestly, I don't care if you love them or hate them. I want to hear about it, please.
Yeah. Except if it's Hozier. If you say anything bad about Hozier, I'm outside of your home.
I have a bomb. Oh, you said you hate Hozier? Oh, you said, I have a bomb. Oh, I have a bomb strapped to my chest right now outside of your house. Take it back. Dante Inferno. What did you say earlier?
Dante's Inferno. Really?
Really?
I found your home.
I have your social security number.
That's when I'm gonna start threatening. I know your social security number.
But what would you even do with a social security number?
You steal somebody's identity, you can like hack their bank account.
How?
I could steal all their money.
How?
Go to the bank and say, hey, I'm this person, and here's my social security number. Log
That's
into
all
a
you
banking
need?
app. Yeah, literally to... I'm not going to say that. Actually, I'm not going to tell you how to hack my entire life.
What do you mean? How do you know so much about this, Sarah? I over here am just
because I have an app.
20-year-old. I'm just a girl.
I'm just
wondering
girl.
how to use a social security number to hack into somebody's bank account.
That's all I want to know.
I'm just a girl. Okay. We keep getting off track.
Anyways,
what's your
we're moving on.
Take a shot every time we say anyways in this episode.
My number
what's
two.
Your next song?
My number 2 is also, this is kind of going in line with my top 5 artists. My number 2 that I put on here is The Grudge by Olivia Rodrigo. She just came out with a new album as well. What's it called?
Yeah. Guts.
Guts.
Right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it is Guts. I haven't listened to it because I know she has the sour one, and then I think Guts is because is that the one with that vampire song on it and everything?
Yeah, vampire.
Yeah, that feels right.
It's very good. It's very much like rage music.
That's what I've heard. Very much like teen girl rage.
Yeah, just like being angry at the world, and I agree with that. And The Grudge again is more like a slower song than the other songs that are on the album, but it's still definitely 100% the song that I'm rolling down my windows and screaming on the highway and being angry at the world.
Yeah. Everybody needs to do that
exactly
once in a while. I'm going to share a Stranger song. Out of all the songs that I'm going to talk about today, if you listen to one, maybe don't listen to this one because I feel like if you listen to this, you will look at me in a different way than you did prior to this episode. But I have to mention it because it's such a fun song and I love it. I'm sorry. It's called Swimming Pool by Marie Madeline. It's very much like Rock Lobster, where it's like guys singing like this and girls singing like this. Like very like opposite. Only I believe they're like Russian. Like they have very strong accents. And I love it for that reason. So pretend I didn't say that song. But I have to share it. Anyways, what's your third one? What's the third one you want to share?
My third one is by an artist that I'm kind of like Olivia Rodrigo. I'm kind of a new fan of. But it's Renee Rapp. And she is Regina George.
Yes. I know this time.
Yes. She has one of the most insane voices I've ever heard in my life. Insane.
Yeah, I've very religiously listened to the Mean Girls soundtrack because, as I stated, I'm a bit of a Broadway fan. That's all I have to say. I mean, she's just, how could you not? And oh my god, dude, I'm so excited for that movie to come out.
Yeah,
the musical.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Oof. And I'm pretty sure Tina Fey's in it again.
Yeah, she is.
That's just shocking. I love it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so good. I hope.
Yeah. Anyways, the song I have is one that I actually think you would like. It's more of an upbeat song, kind of more of an R&B song, which
shocker, Sarah.
I know, but it's called Willow, and it's all like I think there's many ways that you can interpret the song. I think just like a lot of her music, and in music in general, there's always different ways that you can interpret it. But in Willow, I kind of interpret it as like a self-love song, which it's very just like aw. Yeah. And also just like a little groovy, like you're feeling yourself a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
So I love that one.
The next song I'm going to share has been my favorite song, or one of my favorite songs for several years. Lovers Rock by TV Girl. Very much classic, like indie song. TV Girl in general, I feel like, is like one of those bands where you either love them and you're like, oh, like classic indie, but that is the one with the intro is like a very classical like violin like da-da-da! Like it's so like it's great and I love that song and I have for a very long time. Beautiful.
My fourth one had to be a Boy Genius song off their new album. And it's called Afraid of Heights. It's more of an upbeat song off of their new album, but if you listen to the words,
Oh.
It's not very happy. It's actually quite sad and depressing. But
we're not surprised.
At least it's got a good beat to it. Still makes me boogie. At least
it's got an upbeat. Makes you snap your fingers a little bit.
Makes
tap
me boogie.
Your toes.
Exactly.
Makes me boogie. And then become existential.
Boogie. Hey, you just don't think about it. Just boogie.
Okay. Okay. The next one I'm going to mention is The Adults Are Talking by The Strokes. That's another classic indie song. Again, these are my top 5 currently that I'm playing, that I'm picking out of my go-to playlist. So The Adults Are Talking by The Strokes and Call It Fate, Call It Karma. I gotta say both of them just because they are very good, very classic, very like my go-tos on my indie playlist, since that's what I listen to the most.
Yeah. So my last song from my current favorites is actually kind of more of an underground artist, I would say. I think she doesn't get enough hype that she deserves, because I feel like she writes very intentional music, and she writes a lot about like religious trauma, which I think is really cool. But this song, it's not about religious trauma. It's kind of about just like life. It's a life lesson. It's called Growing In, and it's very sweet. I feel like it's a song that can make me happy and make me cry all at the same time. And I feel like there's
a lot of emotions.
Yeah, there's not a lot of music that can make me feel that way. But it's by Maddie Zam.
Okay.
She is incredible. I think more people should listen to her, because she just writes like Hozier writes very thematic, very intentional music, and I really enjoy people who write like that.
You listeners should be taking notes.
Take notes.
Our music tastes are superior. I want an essay. I want a review. I want reactions.
Monday morning, I want an essay on my desk.
Exactly. Right here. Otherwise, you fail. Fail the class. Just kidding. Last song I want to share is Nexus, Is It Over by Austin and the Powers. This is probably, not that any of the songs I listed are like sad like Sarah's, but
hey, no.
I'm just kidding. But this one is very much probably the fastest tempo, most upbeat, definitely gets me tapping my toes. So
we sound like such old people.
What, like, tapping my toes?
Boogie, tapping my toes.
I mean, that's what I do in the car, is I'll do a little dance, or like
do a little,
tap my steering wheel. Next category you want to introduce?
Yes, so we thought if we were talking about our top 5 current, we needed to talk about our top 5 songs ever.
Dude, this was hard.
I know.
This was really hard.
I agree.
I have 5, but I have also 3 extra just because I couldn't just keep it to 5. But okay. The songs that I'm gonna share are definitely like, I tried to get one from every genre that I listen to.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving that disclaimer. But if I had to listen to 5 songs for the rest of my life, it would be these ones.
Yeah. I've edited my list a little, so this will be new to you too. Some of it.
Okay. Mine is the same.
First song, again, mine aren't ranked, so. But my first song that I have on here is Killer by Phoebe Bridgers. This is the most depressing song I know of hers.
Oh my god.
But it's so
At least you're honest,
good.
I guess.
The piano. But
okay.
I do have an embarrassing story about this one. When I was in English, I think it was like AP Lang, I believe it was. The professor, the teacher, gave us an assignment to take a song and basically like restructure it into a poem. And I took Killer by Phoebe Bridgers and I restructured it into a poem. Again, this is a very, very depressing song. Like, very depressing.
Can you give me like a lyric or a line that you know?
Sure, off the top of my head. But when I'm sick and tired and when my mind is barely there, when a machine keeps me alive and I'm losing all my hair, I hope you kiss my rotten head and pull the plug. Know that I've burned every playlist and I've given all my love. I'm telling you, it's so depressing.
Abort!
And this is
abort!
And this is what I reconstructed it into a poem.
Well, what's so funny is, what was this, like, 9th grade, 10th grade, 10th Sarah, grade, like, 10th this is my grade. Song. This is my, like, this is my music.
This is what I needed to do. Me. And then he took my poem and he read it in front of the entire class. This depressing song, and he was like, this is so good. Like, he was praising it. Like, he said it was really good, which is nice, but I was like, no.
You didn't write it.
No, don't. I mean, I reconstructed it into like a different poem. So even though it was like,
what exactly does that mean?
It was like, even though it was the premise of the song, I reconfigured it so that it was like my own message. I can't remember exactly like what I wrote about on it, but I remember it was depressing and it was embarrassing when you read it in front of the class.
And now everyone in that class thought that you were just the saddest little girl
emo
ever.
And I'm sure they looked at me like this tiny child and was like,
that never talks in class, like sticks to herself. And I was like, oh,
she's on a watch list.
Somebody go be her friend.
So, anyways.
Okay. Well, just read the first one I have to its exact opposite. My first top 5 song of all time is "I Know You Want Me" by Pitbull.
I know you want me, Mr. Worldwide.
I am a huge fan of Pitbull. Always have been, always will be. Any Pitbull song could go on here, and I think I'd be okay with it. But I wanted to pick one that was like just solely him and not featuring anyone. And I guess what I have to say about that is, life is not a waste of time. Time is not a waste of life. So let's stop wasting time, get wasted, and have the time of our lives.
Mr. Worldwide.
I know you want me. I know you want you. Listen, I don't really listen to the lyrics.
Me.
I just
no, you want you.
I'm just like, wow, Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard his concerts are very strange, though.
I think I will regret it forever if I never see him in person.
Anyways.
Wait, what do you mean by strange? Did you say strange?
Yeah. No, I've heard like he's oddly patriotic at his concerts.
That's like that one Mariah Carey clip where she's like, so nobody wants to talk about 9/11, and everyone goes, what? No. Like, you hear the crowd like gasp. Have you ever seen that video?
Yes. No, literally. It's like synonymous. Like, he's literally chanting like USA, USA at his concerts. Sure. And it's like, why?
Okay, give me your next song of all time.
I'll bounce off your Pitbull and try to make it my music a little happier. Mm-hmm. This is If You Are a Friend of Mine. Dan.
Me. I am.
You must know that I love this song.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
It is the greatest song of all time. And it is Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. I used to absolutely boogie to this song when I was like 4, 5 years old. Mm-hmm. In my car seat, in my mom's minivan, would go ham to the song. And I still do to this day in my own car.
I can attest to that. Yes, this is very true.
Yes.
The next one I have kind of pays tribute to my emo phase in middle school when I listened to solely Panic at the Disco and Halsey. But one of my favorite Panic songs of all time, which honestly, talking about Panic at the Disco could be an entire episode of just that landslide that man has fallen down.
I hate that man. I really do.
Yeah, no, me too. I've kind of enjoyed watching him slowly burn.
I did as well.
But one of my favorite songs by him before, all that crap happened, and when he was actively making good music and I was a bigger fan, is The End of All Things. I do listen to his older stuff, and I know it's a lot different than what album that song is from, but that one specifically I learned on piano. I think it is very beautiful. It's probably the slowest song that I've said today so far. Again, complete opposite from Pitbull, but it's very like piano, very calm, very, very beautiful. So
wish she wasn't awful.
Mm-hmm.
My next one, it's kind of a random one. It's somebody It's a band I haven't mentioned. I'm not a big band person. I'm more of like an individual artist person. But a band that I've listened to for a really long time is Mumford and Sons, and specifically like their older music I really love. I do love some of their newer stuff, and specifically Marcus Mumford, who's like the lead singer, has come up with some solo work, and I've really liked his solo work as well. But one of my all-time favorite songs is Hopeless Wanderer by them. And yeah, it's honestly, it's very different than like every single other song on here, because it's very much like rock.
Really?
Rock. Like folk rock, I would say.
Yeah. Like, not my
definitely like a banjo.
Corn music.
But like hardcore banjo. And it's
Man
more
goes hard on the banjo.
Yeah. And it's much more like upbeat and positive than my other songs. Like it's very nice up.
The next one I want to mention kind of ties in with Pitbull, because I feel like I've said this so many times, but the music I remember listening to the most when I was like younger, thanks to my dad, was, a good, both my parents like listened to a lot of rock, and that definitely reflects in the music I listen to now, but I specifically remember my dad. I remember him listening to a lot of Pitbull and Lady Gaga, and so this other song is Telephone by Lady Gaga and Beyonce. Specifically that song because, one, it's good. I mean, I love like earlier Lady Gaga music so much.
Iconic.
But that music video was, internet access as a kid.
We shouldn't have had it.
That's another episode actually that I have written down that we will talk about someday, is our experiences on the internet as kids. This is just a little teaser of that episode. I was very big into, before like YouTubers became a thing, I would go on YouTube and I would watch music videos all day by Vivo. And one of those music videos that I watched, I don't think it was by Vivo, but it was Telephone by Lady Gaga and Beyonce. And that's the one where she's like wrapped in caution tape, I think, like in the jail, and there's all these women, very like Cell Block Tango, like women in shreds of clothing, and I was like, I don't think I should be watching this. I'm gonna go upstairs and watch this actually. Just because I was like, because I loved Lady Gaga and I love the song, and if you watch the music video, it actually is a really good music video, because it's like a story almost, kind of compare. I mean, some of her other music videos are a story, but this one has like dialogue and stuff. And so I was like kind of invested. I was like, oh my god, she's running from the cops. Oh my god, she poisoned this entire diner. What? Like, so, but I definitely should have not been seeing as many butt cracks and boobs as I did in that video. I was like, women wear that? Wow. Look at those heels. Oh my gosh. She has Coca-Cola cans in her hair. How did she do that?
Yeah.
What does that word mean? Like that's very that's why I put it on here, because not only do I love the song, I have very vivid memories of watching that music video and being like, so this is what the internet is about.
This is what it holds. Yeah, I remember like Kesha as well was another one of those artists.
Oh my god.
I
watched her too.
I used to dance in my daycare lady's garage to those songs, and we would make dances to her songs at like 4 or 5 years old, and like you go back and listen to those songs now, and you're like
2:00 in the afternoon.
The world? Ain't got no cares in the world, but got plenty of beer.
No money in my pocket, but I'm already here. Oh my god, I totally forgot. She has a place called Blow. This place is about to blow. Kesha, do you have a bomb?
Kesha has a bomb.
Kesha, do you remember when she was on Victorious?
Yes,
I think she sang that song.
Yeah.
Did she sing that song on Victorious?
Yeah, and then she said this place is about to blow, and she like did confetti. It would be an entire different plot twist if she was like, this place is about to blow, the house blows up.
She like rips off her clothes and has a bomb like strapped to her chest, like her outfit is a bomb. Okay, anyways, was that my turn? Yeah.
Yes.
So let's talk about Telephone.
Yes.
You share your next song.
Okay. Obviously I have to do a Hozier song. Just have to. Jackie and Wilson is my all-time favorite one. Very much
I love those guys.
R&B and R&B bluesy song. It's my mom's favorite as well. So little shared memory. And we're going to see the concert together
with her.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I think he's playing that song. So literally I will die that night. So
you're gonna be just holding
notice.
each other, just sobbing. Like
I'm just gonna die. He's gonna come on stage and I'm just gonna fall.
Yeah, to your knees. Like
I'm going down.
Yeah. No, I literally, so when I got the tickets, I literally was like, okay, I have 2 tickets. I have to be okay with whoever I bring with me to see me in such a state that I don't think I've ever been in before. Because I haven't been to a lot of concerts. The ones I've been to have been just like whatever, like general fans, whatever. Yeah. I've never truly been like starstruck by performances I've seen. Again, this woman I have gone on loving for 8 years straight. And so I had to consciously make the decision of being like, whoever I bring with is going to see a side of me that I don't even know, that I have never experienced. Like, I literally, if I think about it too hard right now, I cry. When I listen to her music in the car, I cry. The day that comes, the night before, I'm crying myself to sleep. I'm waking up like, I gotta get the waterproof makeup, everything, girl. Yep. Like, it's gonna be a mess. And I'm so excited for it. So, anyways, my next favorite song of all time is Anything, Melanie Martinez. Okay, how many do we have left?
I have one more.
3, I think.
Okay, I have my last one. And I have to include it because I do, in fact, have it tattooed on my body. Not the whole thing. That would be interesting.
I think we made that joke before.
Yeah, I think it was like on my back. Just the entire thing. It's Blackbird by the Beatles. It's a very good song. It's a very good life song.
All the lyrics.
All of them.
And all the band members' name. Mm-hmm.
I actually have portraits
Even
of them.
A portrait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just on my back.
Yeah.
I have just some lyrics on my arm. From like the main melody.
Mm-hmm. Very pretty song.
Yeah.
The last one I have on here for top 5 of all time is If It Wasn't for the Nights by ABBA. Because I think it's between that one and Angel Eyes that are my favorite songs by them. It was hard to pick, but If It Wasn't for the Nights has too good of an intro, too good of a hook, too good of a chorus. So I have honorable mentions, and I'm just gonna say them really, really quickly because
I have one honorable. I have one honorable mention. So you go through your list first, and then I'll say mine.
3 honorable mentions. 1, Dare by Gorillaz, got me through working at my horrible corporate job. 2, Rock Lobster by the B-52s, because it is a classic and will never die. And 3, Remember Everything by Five Finger Death Punch, kind of an homage to the metal music or the rock music I listen to. Remember Everything specifically, that song is not very heavy, but it's my favorite song by Five Finger Death Punch, which is one of the first rock artists that I got into when I started delving into that genre. So, your turn.
That was my favorite thing in the entire world. Anyways, I have one honorable mention. It is Valerie by Amy Winehouse. Terrible, tragic story of Amy Winehouse. But she is so incredible. So incredible. And actually, I have a very sweet... The reason why this is my honorable mention is because when I was younger, every time that I knew it was spring cleaning day is because all of the windows were open in my house and my mom was blasting Valerie by Amy Winehouse. And it was just like the scent of flowers because it was fresh spring, and like the morning doves, like, you know, that you see on TikTok of like the sentimental morning doves, and my mom blasting Amy Winehouse downstairs. It's very... And now every single time we hear it on the radio, we just look at each other and we're like, we gotta go home and clean the house.
Spring cleaning time. It's the middle of winter.
Time to clean the house. And when I had my own apartment, I did the same thing. I opened all the windows and turned on Amy Winehouse.
Aw.
Very nice.
A little tradition you got now.
Anyways, so I suppose that wraps up our segment for today. We can conclude in our usual caring, continue the caring vibes, sweet vibes after my very depressing playlist.
Very personal, sentimental thing you shared there, yeah.
Very depressing playlist. What'd you eat today, Dan?
Okay, I had a meat pie.
A meat pie? A pie of meat?
Yeah. I was at work and this woman ordered a meat pie and we started to cook it and she was like, actually, I don't want it cooked. And I looked at her and I said, ma'am, it's a solid frozen rock of meat and pie. Are you sure? And she said, yes. And so I had to take a different one. I took the solid frozen rock one and I was like, here you go. And she's like, thanks. And then my manager just let me have the extra meat pie. And it was pretty good. It was soggy, but it was good. And it wasn't solid frozen solid.
Can you just briefly explain, like, is it genuinely just a bunch of meat and like pie crust?
Pretty much. I mean, it's like a handheld pie. It's not like traditionally like round shaped. It was like a little like square and it has like onions, peppers, and like ground beef in it. It's good.
It sounds good, but
and cheese. It was good. But that lady made me a little bit concerned.
Is that all you had? Is all you've had a meat pie?
No, Mom. I've eaten more than a meat pie. Could you imagine?
I mean, it sounds pretty filling, but
the phrase "is that all you've had? A meat pie?"
A meat pie. It sounds like concerned, like you just left for college.
Yeah.
You just ate a meat pie.
Yeah. No, I had that. I had a little bit of a snack earlier, and then after this, we are having mac and cheese for dinner, which actually is one of our one of our laziest meals that we've honestly made, probably throughout the entire week. So it's just funny that the one night we're recording this is when I'm like, yeah, I'm just having mac and cheese. When like we made stuffed peppers the other night, like chicken fried rice, like crock pot ribs, and like, so I promise, I feel like every time I come on here and I'm like, oh, this is what I had for dinner, it sounds like I'm 12. I do eat real food sometimes, I swear. On the nights that we record these, I'm usually eating something that 6-year-old me also ate.
Yep.
What about you?
I actually didn't have class today, so my mom was like, well, why don't we go to lunch?
Aw.
We went to a restaurant up by my house. It's pretty new, it just opened. Had a sandwich there, chicken sandwich with some chips, some homemade chips, always good.
Ooh,
I know. And then
those are good.
That was pretty filling. It was a big sandwich. So I haven't really eaten anything since. I made these really cute Christmas cookies the other day.
Oh my god.
I'll have to send them to you. They're
Please.
so cute. They're so cute and they're so yummy. So I've had like a couple of those. But after this, I'm kind of getting hungry now again. My mom made some tortellini soup, which is my favorite soup of all time.
Peak soup. Winner soup. Soup for winners. Only winners drink this drink. Eat this soup. King soup. The last thing I do want to say, actually, at the end of our last episode that we recorded, we were talking about what we should call our fan base. I don't know why we didn't think of this before. Why don't we call our fan base Ducklings?
Aw, cute.
Isn't that kind of cute, right?
It's kind of cute. I like it.
So, decree, hang on, gavel sound. This is a paintbrush. Our fan base is called Ducklings. If you're listening to this, you're a duckling, and we're like the mama ducks at the top. We're married ducks, and we're leading the way, and it's like the single file line of our little fans, of our little ducklings following behind us.
Yeah.
So
all three of them.
And I wouldn't want it any other way.
And I love it so much. I have so much fun doing this.
Oh my gosh, I do too.
Amazing. Well, we'll continue the fun in 2 weeks with our next episode.
Don't miss us too much.
Bye!
Bye!